right. Good morning, everyone. We're live. Got the notification. All right. So I almost on time. Running just a couple minutes late. Hey Kay, thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you being here. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. I want to know how you guys are feeling today. How are you guys feeling today? I woke up this morning and had a hard time getting up. Got a little bit of a headache, but I'm grateful to be alive this morning. Thank you to all who participate in the gratitude challenge. We are, good morning, good morning, good morning, Jocelyn. Um, Again, thank you for all who are participating in the gratitude challenge. I'm very excited about the momentum that it's gotten in this group. I think it's awesome. Today's was, what ability are you grateful for? We've already had somebody share a really good one. So if you haven't yet, feel free to jump in anytime. You don't have to have been participating since the beginning. It's okay to jump in anytime, but we're 13 days into our 30-day gratitude challenge. So I'm so proud of you guys. Good morning. Yeah, so yesterday we started our conversation on physical impacts of trauma, or physical effects of trauma on the body. And so we talked about your brain architecture and how physical parts of your brain actually shrink when you are subjected to trauma, especially for long periods of time or as a child. Your brain is very susceptible to those changes, and it really plays a really big toll on your brain. So we talked about your brain architecture and how your prefrontal cortex shrinks, your corpus callosum shrinks, your hippocampus shrinks, and your amygdala actually enlarges. And we broke down what those parts of the brain actually do and what it is affecting. So if you missed yesterday's live, I would really go check that one out. It's pretty good, if you ask me. I don't know. And so we said that the way to repair that or restore that was through safe and nurturing relationships, walks in nature, physical touch, those things. We talked about neural pathways and we talked about hormones. Go check out that video from yesterday if you didn't watch it because it's really good. So today I want to talk about your brain waves and just like your neurotransmitters in your brain. So we're going to wrap up the brain part of it. So you most likely have a lot of anxiety if you have dealt with trauma in your life. A lot of us have come over from the complex CPTSD group, and that is a very big side effect of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD, is very extreme anxiety, or depression. It can manifest as both for you in your life. It can manifest as one or the other. Um, it really just depends on you. I particularly go back and forth between the two. So your neurotransmitters, if they are firing in the wrong way, it can lead to anxiety, and it can lead to the inability to concentrate and to really focus on things. And you'll find your mind just kind of wandering and you're not really able to really hold a good grasp. And some people may go to the doctor and lead with that and say, hey, I have a hard time concentrating. I just can't sit still. It's kind of crazy. They might say you have ADHD, and maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you are having some really bad anxiety as a side effect of your CPTSD, which you got from your trauma. So in healing the root of the issue, which is the trauma, you're going to lessen the side effects of the CPTSD. You're going to lessen the anxiety. You're going to be able to eventually rebuild those brainwaves. And and retrain them to fire correctly. And so, how you do that is your neurofeedback, and you practice your gratitude. You practice changing the way you speak about yourself, mindfulness, and just truly being intentional with your thoughts, and really and trying not to rush through your thoughts, really break them down and figure out, as silly as it may sound, like figure out why you're thinking the things that you are. And if you aren't necessarily maybe thinking in the correct way, because sometimes our automatic response maybe not necessarily what is the most appropriate response right now, it's just what we learned and it's our automatic response. And so your neurotransmitters, when they are misfiring and firing off and not setting your brain up for it to be its best self, if you will, you are more vulnerable to addiction because of that. And so, because your dopamine transmitters and receptors are maybe not firing, or your receptors are not receiving, or maybe they're not there. So it could be because they weren't developed if you had trauma very early in your life, or because they are damaged from the constant cortisol and adrenaline and um, fight or flight going on in your brain. It really can damage that. So with this, you have reduced motivation and focus, and you're not able to truly give your life and yourself and your surroundings and your job and your partner all of the good things about yourself, because you're suffering from that lack of serotonin. You're suffering from those happy chemicals in your brain. So making sure you're exercising, you're eating correctly, you're drinking your water, you're talking good to yourself. I know that sounds so silly, but it's so important. It really is vital. Your cells respond to how you are treating yourself, including how you're speaking to yourself. Please be aware of that. So another thing is cellular change. This is very interesting. Trauma and constant adrenaline and fight or flight, not the good kind of adrenaline, the like stress, the cortisol. It really shortens your telomeres. I don't know how you even say that, but it is the X shape of your chromosome, like your actual DNA. And they shrink, they get smaller, and this increases, it speeds up your aging process, and it reduces the reproduction of cells. So your cells are always making new cells, but if your actual cells are older than maybe what they necessarily are because of the damage, because of the trauma, because of the stress, then you are going to um, slow down your cell reproduction. You're going to slow down that natural healing process that your body has in the rejuvenation of those cells. And this can actually lead to cancer when your cells are breaking down in this way, and then the just constant cortisol in your body. It can also lead to cancer, which obviously is terrible. The resolution for this, as crazy as it might sound, is just social support, just rebuilding the structure of humans. As humans, our the difference between us is the compassion that we have, the emotion that we have, the connection that we have to each other. And because that was broken, a lot of us don't trust that anymore. And that is it's sad, because we need each other, and it is hurtful to us and harmful because we need each other to heal. We need those strong support beings in our life. We need a good foundation of people who we know care about us in our life. And I want you to know that if you're watching this live, if you're watching it on a replay, if you're watching it 10 years from now, it doesn't matter. I care about you. And if I'm all that you have right now, that's okay. Lean in. Let's do it together. I'm here every weekday, 7:30 a.m. I'm here for you. You are worthy, and you deserve to heal. And so, as we've seen in this breakdown of physical effects, is the support and the connection. That is what really is the foundation of reverting back to, I don't want to say reverting back to ourselves, because I don't know that we could actually go back to our original selves. We've already been changed, but we can make that change for the better. We can get to the root of the goodness, and we can get back to the goodness that we had in us before, and the new goodness that we're going to find now in our healing process and our healing journey. So I don't want you guys to get down if you're in a situation where you might not have the best support system, because it, that season of your life might not last forever. You could meet somebody tomorrow that changes your entire life. But for today, we have each other. We have this group. Um, so please keep that in mind. And I hope you don't take that lightly, because I mean it with all my heart. So, yeah, the cellular change. And so your genes can turn on or off in adaptation to your surroundings. So, based on what you're going through, certain genes are going to trigger, and certain genes are going to kind of go dormant and go not turn on, especially in dangerous environments. It really plays a toll. So, those natural reactions, while most people would only get those reactions if they were actually like physically in danger, like we were when we were being abused, they just have it at more appropriate times. So we just need to redirect that and make sure we're using our responses for the proper thing. And if maybe you're not so in danger, if your life isn't getting ready to end right now, then we have to make sure that our reaction to things that are happening in our life right now aren't the fight or flight, I'm going to die response. We have to make sure that our responses match. And part of that is being cognizant of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, really being in touch with those emotions. And the only real thing for the effect on the genes being turned on or off is just being in a safe environment. And while you couldn't fix that problem before, you can fix it now. Just make sure that your surroundings are safe if you are able to control that, which I hope all of you are. And if you're not, please reach out for help, because you deserve to be safe. So it's a safer environment. It's being able to relax in being who you are. It's being able to know that you're safe in your home. That is the way that your genes are going to be able to appropriately turn on and off. So know that, and especially if you have children, please keep that in mind, because we are also in healing ourselves trying to break the cycle. And a lot of the times, sexual abuse survivors still go on to have families. But if our trauma isn't completely realized and dealt with appropriately, it can potentially, I'm not saying that it 100% will, but it can potentially lead to maybe even different traumas happening for your child. So we definitely want to break that cycle. We don't want that to be going on. So the next thing is toxic elimination. Your intestines, your kidneys are less able to eliminate the toxins in your body, and it builds up and builds up slowly. And you can develop what's called like a slow gut, or an unbalanced flora. So a slow gut, your body isn't processing your foods appropriately. You get a backup of toxins in your body. Your body's not getting rid of those. You're more susceptible to illness. Obviously, you're going to have some stomach problems that are very uncomfortable. So this is just like a snowball that can just start and really start to become a really big problem. Unbalanced flora, that can also flora is the bacteria and things in your body, the natural bacteria in your body and in your stomach gut. Um, and when those become unbalanced, you again have a hard time digesting and you have a hard time feeling well. So you want to really get that under control. You really want to make sure that your kidneys are functioning properly. Water. Drink your water. Exercise. Sweat it out. Um, Eating foods that are good for you. Like, care for yourself in those ways where you are caring from yourself from the inside out, where you are drinking the majority of water in your day. The majority of the liquids that you're drinking are water. You're eating good stuff. Salt baths can actually help pull toxins out of your body as well. And saunas. So exercising, like I said, is a really good way because you're sweating it out. But if you maybe can't get like a hard exercise in, if you have bad knees and you can't really run, I still recommend you exercise as much as you can and move your body for at least 30 minutes a day. But saunas can actually be really helpful for that if you are physically a little more limited. Your nervous system, this is one that I struggle with, I feel like a lot, is supercharged sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, where you are just constantly in a hypervigilant state where you're just on all the time. Your brain's going, your body is going, you're having really intense reactions, your heart rate is very fast. And so ways to really resolve this issue is super simple things like breathing exercises. Exhaling longer than you're inhaling will physically slow down your heart. I always say 4 counts in, hold for 2, exhale for 6. It works. I'm telling you, people, it really works. Sometimes when you just start, you don't have a lot of the belly air because you've been breathing so shallowly. So it might be really hard to get that full 4 count breath in. So just keep trying. Just keep doing it. It's practice. It's even then I was only able to get to like 2.5. So I need to do some breathing exercises this morning. Good morning, Kelly. Yeah, so just breathing, yoga, which combines your breathing with a little bit of movement in your body and stretching, which is so powerful. It really is. It sounds wacky to some people, I'm sure, but it works. It really works. And if it's free and it's pretty easy to do and it has the potential to change your life, why wouldn't you give it a try? What do you really have to lose from trying breathing exercises and yoga? You really only have something to gain. So I hope that you'll give that a try, because yoga, breathing, and other physical emotional regulation tools, so the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique that I talked to you guys about last week, I believe, is a really good way to calm your nervous system as well. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste, and 1 thing that you love about yourself, because we added 1 in there. So that's a really good technique as well. Journaling, physically handwriting it, can also help sometimes. And the last one here is your immune system, your resistance to cortisol or lower cortisol in your body creates unchecked inflammation. It makes things stressed out in your body, actually. Like you're physically inflamed because your body is reacting to this cortisol in your body. So you have to counterbalance that cortisol. You have to get that in check. Unchecked inflammation can cause many, 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 many diseases. A lot of the fibromyalgia that we're seeing and a lot of the different chronic illnesses come from chronic inflammation in the body. Unchecked cortisol building up and building up and building up, and it will have an effect on your body if it's left unchecked. And you deserve better than that, because it's going to really take a toll on how you're able to interact with the people that you love in your life, and even how you're reacting to yourself. So you really have to take care of yourself. And the resolution for this is, again, meditation, mindful actions, keeping awareness, self-awareness of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Walking in nature, a healthy diet, plenty of rest, actual rest, where you're trying to rest your mind, you're trying to rest your body, and you're trying to rest your soul. Being gentle with yourself. And I don't know if you've caught on, but a lot of the resolution that I found in this, they're a lot of the same things. It's kind of been repeated over and over. I might sound a little repetitive, but this is the scientific truth on how to resolve these issues in your body. Moving your body, drinking water, exercising, meditation, breathing, mindful thinking, being gentle with yourself. So, getting oxytocin going in your body. Yeah. So I hope you guys found that very helpful. I, again, was very intrigued when I saw that. This was a infographic that I shared on the page before. So again, if you want to go check it out, it's on the page, Physical Impact of Trauma. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it's a little kid with some boxes around it. So if you want to go see that, it's on the page. Go check it out. Kelly said, totally can relate. Navigating through resistance with dealing with shingles for the last 2 years and working through trauma. Yes. Yes, girl, you deserve all the healing. You can do it. I know it's so hard, and it's got to be frustrating. You've been dealing with that for 2 years. Oh my gosh. All the love to you. All the love to you, Kelly. That has got to be extremely hard. I can only imagine. But you can do it. You can get through it. Please pay attention to how you're treating yourself and how you're talking to yourself. And please don't give up. I know it's hard, and I'm sure that you are probably frustrated with your doctors going 2 years into this. I hope you're finding good people to take care of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing that with us and being vulnerable. We all deserve healing. We all deserve healing, and it's crazy to think that things like meditation and being mindful of your breathing and things like that could change your body chemistry and change so much and make such an impact. And please let me tell you that any of these things, it's not going to help overnight. This is lifestyle changes. This is practicing this every single day, even on the hard days. As freaking hard as it is, and trust me guys, I know it's hard. I've been in and out of therapy for 5 years now. I know it's hard, and it be hard because growth is hard, and the only way through it, or on the others, to get to the other side, is to go through it. There is no shortcut. There's no going around the trauma, unfortunately. So I wish you guys the best. I'm so excited that we finally wrapped that up. I hope you guys got a bunch of good information out of it. If something really piqued your interest and you want to know more, Google it. That's the best thing that I've found, is just paying attention to my body, what I'm reacting to, what I'm finding success at, and Googling it. Like, I was having a really hard time with the breathing and the meditation, and I kept hearing it over and over, that this is the way to work through things, and this has really helped people change their lives. And I was like, how in the world are these people doing it? I can't settle down enough to breathe or meditate or anything. Keep Googling videos. Like, there is going to be somebody out there who is practicing this online for you, or on a video for you to view and to try yourself. And somebody's technique will click with you. Something will work. There are millions of books out there. As excuse my language, but as shitty as this is for us and for everybody that's experienced sexual abuse, and as terrible, terrible of a crime that it is, it's happening to people all over the world. So many people are living with this heaviness inside of their body. And first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for being brave and saying, I have been there too, and I need some support. And I'm going to join this group because somebody is reaching out offering support. So thank you so much for being here. But also, just know you're not alone, and know that there are successful people out there that you don't even know have gone through this too, that haven't maybe come out and shared their story yet. But there are tons and tons of very successful people and celebrities and different influencers, if you will, who have come up and say, yes, this happened to me too, and this is how I've gone through it, and this is what I'm doing. So there's a lot of stories out there. There's a lot of models for you guys to follow. Somebody was thirsty. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be good to yourself. Remember, you are worthy. You are important. You are capable. You are valuable. You are smart. And you can do hard things. You can do hard things. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back with you guys live tomorrow morning at 7:30. I don't know that I have anything lined up for tomorrow. I think somebody did vote on just like a live chat, just kind of open chat discussion type of thing. So if you guys are interested in that, get your questions together that you have for me, for the group, and we can do that. I think I'll probably throw another poll out there today sometime, seeing what you guys want to actually talk about tomorrow, and make sure that's what everybody wants, since we have so many new people in the group. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for sticking it out. And I wish you guys all the best in your healing today. Take care.